Anjumon, спасибо большое. Makoto Fox. This better not be after Makoto in Persona 5, by the way. Who is trash. I'm sorry, chat. Your waifu is trash. Makoto is trash. Death Arcana rules. I actually, I have a kind of, okay, should I go on a tiny little tangent? So, I actually thought the Star Arcana was great because I figured, when I play these kinds of games, I try to imagine myself as the character. I thought if I was a young man and I was dating, who would I want to date? And I feel that the Star Arcana is kind of somebody who I would most likely want to date because the other girls, I see them all the time. I see them all the time. We're fighting all the time. They're there all the time. It's kind of annoying. I would much rather date a person kind of outside of it, you know? So I would probably want to date Star Arcana. Who is Star again? Shogi player. The Shogi girl. Just because she kind of has everything. She doesn't go to the same school. She is smart. She's brave. She's not, she's not really in your business. I really like when people aren't in my business. That being said, I think the problem I have with Makoto is that she kind of feels a little bit like Hermione to me, where she's the best and she's doing the most and she's figuring everything out and she's amazing. So I'm a little bit sad about that. I know that I read a lot about the lore, and apparently when they were first making the game, they considered making An the kind of canonic love because of the Lover's Arcana. But this could just be a rumor. Because like I said, that's just things I read. I don't know. It's not that I don't like Hermione. I think Hermione is great, but I do feel like sometimes she did everything. Hermione did everything. And, Hermione did everything. And it kind of feels that way with Makoto. Now, when it comes to Haru, I wish I learned more about Haru. Because Haru. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I wish I knew more about Haru. Because her interactions with the protagonists were incredible. Her interactions with them were incredible. She is caring, she is kind, all this stuff. But yeah, they just kind of scraped her a little bit. My favorite waifu, though. Yeah. Oh, I didn't play the Royale, was it? Никогда не играл в Persona, но самая лучшая. But again, everybody, she felt very human, even though she was so rich and all that stuff. She felt very human. As much as I love Makoto's big sister, I don't think she's a realistic love interest. I also genuinely, I don't think the doctor's a realistic love interest until at least a few years later. Even though I love the doctor and I always go for her, in my mind, I feel like maybe the doctor and you can date in like 10 years, right? Or 5, which is still fine. I love her and I go for her. She is my number one. I just feel like if I was the high school boy that he is, I would want to date Hifumi or Haru the most. Because Makoto kind of I'm sorry, I'm going to use this link. She kind of busts your balls a lot. She kind of busts your balls a lot. And I don't know, I just feel if I was 16, I don't think I'd like that. I would be annoyed. I would be annoyed by both Anne and Makoto. I would be annoyed by both. If I was a 16-year-old boy, I would be annoyed by both those girls. I don't think I would want to be with any of those two girls. I really think I would want to be with Hifumi the most, or maybe Haru. Oh, I love Yusuke. That being said, Death Arcana, the doctor, is my favorite. I love going for her. She's amazing. I really do feel... So, in my mind, again, please, this is just my opinion. If my mom was a 16-year-old boy, she'd be an anime. I agree. This is just my opinion. Please don't, get mad at me for it. I feel, think about it. If in 5 or 10 years, the protagonist met up with the adult women, I don't think he would date his teacher. I think the teacher, he helped her out a lot, but I do think he could date Dr. Legs. I genuinely do believe I don't think he would date his little sister girl. I don't think so. I do believe if in 10 years he encountered Dr. Legs, they would date. I am telling you, if he encountered Dr. Legs in 10 years, they would date 100%. I don't think he would date the teacher, and I don't think he would date his younger sister. But that is just me. That is just how I experienced the game and how I learned the game. If you feel differently, if you saw the game differently, absolutely. This is the beauty of these games, these kind of first-person games, that you get to live the story as you want to. And if you, want to have a little sister that you also love, that's on you, honey. Do you. If you want to go for your teacher, that's absolutely fine. I'm just talking about, for me, when I looked at the game, and I try to play this game as, I try to pretend I'm the character. I try to pretend I'm the character. So if I was the character, I would not want to date either of my two girls in my party. They're so annoying. I just figure if I was a 16-year-old boy, I would want to just hang out with Ryuji all the time, and maybe even Yusuke sometimes, and I'd want to go on dates with Hifumi and Haru. And again, please, if you have a different opinion, that is absolutely correct. You do what you want to do, honeys. This is, this is how I experienced Persona 5. I don't feel anything for the journalist, and I don't feel anything for the card reader lady. Nothing. Would I hang out with Moon Boy? Probably. I like information, so probably. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, you have to remember too, I'm seeing them from I don't know. If I was 16, remember, I've never lived as a human young boy. So I'm a fox of heaven, honey. So when I was a young boy, my father took me into the city. I would probably, I just feel like Makoto would annoy me. Anne would, you're the trio with Anne. You're the trio. It's like Harry Potter. You don't date. When you're the protagonist, you let the other two date. I also really believe Anne and Ruiji should date. This is why, Ruiji, I'm sorry. This is why I also don't want to date Anne. I remembered. I really would want her to be with Ryuji. Ryuji. Raichu. I really would want them to be together, genuinely. And I don't know, I feel like Yusuke and Futaba, they're also both kind of the same type of weird, They're both the same type of strange that in maybe 5 years, I could see them eventually getting together. I could see them slowly. I don't know if it's love will they'll develop, but definitely they'll really like each other and want to hang out. So I wouldn't want to get in the way of that. All right. I think it's time for us to keep playing the game. What do you think, everybody?